If this is your first time here, guys, please do not forget this video is a great video, and I decided to make this video because a lot of people have been asking me to make something like this. I understand a lot of us wants to migrate abroad, and we have family members, we have husbands, we have kids, we have children we want to move to with. All right, so if you are looking for a country where you can migrate with your husband, your spouse, and this is a video you must be able to watch or try to watch till the end so that you understand what you are going to be doing. First of all, I will talk about some countries. There are about 9 of them. Then at the extreme end, I will talk about one of the countries I just noticed right now that can accept you as an international student and accept your wife or your husband, but there are documents you need to submit when you are moving with spouse. You understand? Maybe you are going to be providing a marriage certificate. Some do not accept, some will not allow you except you are married to provide a marriage certificate. Some will not will allow you, all right, come in maybe with if your spouse and you and your spouse, you are not yet married, some may allow you on what they call then remember there are documents. Some other countries will allow your wife apply for a work visa, for example Canada. All right, if you are going as a student, then your spouse is allowed to move in with you. Then the visa your spouse is going to allow to come with is called an open work permit. All right, her own visa is going to be an open work permit. Then a country, first of all, let's talk about what you are going to do. Now Canada, with Canada you can travel with your spouse to Canada, all right, on a study visa. Now what you are going to be getting is a study visa, and your spouse is going to be getting an open work permit. All right, let me indicate here, yes, Canada is done. So in case you have more money, but again, if your money is not enough, these countries aside of Canada, there are other European countries you can consider. So let's talk about the next country, and the next country on our list is Finland. Well, with Finland, you can apply for a study permit. All right, it's called a study permit now, and your spouse can also come with you in case you are moving on a study permit, and it gives your wife an opportunity to work, all right, full time. Canada is same thing, full time. A lot of these countries, when you migrate with your spouse, you are going to be the student, but your spouse is going to work full time. So it depends now on the individuals, you understand, and the amount of money they have. Because as a single individual, you need close to like 6,720 euros to migrate. But now if you are bringing your spouse or subsequently your children into the scene, into the visa application, then you have to increase the money, and I have a lot of videos on this YouTube channel explaining all these details. Now the next country we are going to talk about is the United Kingdom. The UK, well, is an exception as I speak right now, because the UK government recently announced that as of 2024, international students will not be able to move again with their family members or their spouse or immediate family members to the United Kingdom. All right, this law was recently passed and is going to take effect in 2024. But what I don't understand is the UK government is saying that international students are contributing to almost half, if not half, but almost half of UK's economy in terms of finance. But I don't know why they are still restricting these international students from moving to the UK with their family members. And of course, they are looking for a lot of people to work with them. So please reconsider your stance. For the UK as it stands right now, you cannot migrate with family. Now the next country we are going to talk about is Sweden. For those of you who don't know, admissions is currently open in Sweden, and I have been talking about this and how you can do the application, the requirements, and the websites you are going to use. If you didn't know, you can apply for admissions now, gain admissions, pay your tuition fee, apply for visa, and you migrate with your spouse to Sweden. During the visa application, you are going to put your spouse into the visa scene, all right, into the application process. So you have to understand that you can move with your spouse to Sweden as an international student. All you need is money, and I always insist that budget planning is very, very important. Okay, the next country you can migrate to with your family is Australia. And if you didn't know, in most Australian universities, as soon as you get admissions, you are going to pay part of the deposit, and most of the time it's usually half of your tuition fee before you can apply for the study visa. Sometimes Sweden also charge very high, but I think looking at Sweden and Australia, Sweden is not that expensive. Well, I may not know the tuition fee range for Australian universities or colleges, but I believe that with Sweden, it is going to be more affordable. But if you have a lot of money, know that you can move to Australia with your spouse or children. The next country I want to talk about is Austria. Austria is a country in Europe and also a strong member of the European Union. So if you gain admissions to study at any Austrian university or college or higher institution, know that you can migrate with your spouse, being it the University of Vienna, the University of Innsbruck, the University of Graz, or any other institution. Know that you can migrate with your family, and of course they are going to work while you study. All right, then the same thing applies for Finland. You are going to work but not full time, but your spouse who is under an open work permit or open residence permit can now work full time. I hope you get it. Then Portugal is another country you can move with your spouse if and only if you have the money as an international student. Then let's take a look at the new country I just noticed, which is Denmark. This is not the one I'm talking about. In Denmark, or if you intend to move to Denmark, know that the Denmark student visa helps the spouse to travel as well. And what is going to happen after the spouse travel? The completion of the application is going to be done when the spouse already have his or her student visa. And now remember, the student has the student visa, but the spouse is going to be under what we call a spouse's open work permit. All right, it's very common. A lot of people don't know about this, but again, remember, Denmark is not really that affordable compared to maybe Latvia, Lithuania, and all the rest. Though you cannot migrate to some of these countries I just mentioned, especially the Baltic countries, with a family. I hope you understand. Then the next country I'm going to talk about is the United States of America. As a master's or PhD student in the US, you can travel with your spouse, but remember that when you are looking at certain courses like bachelor's, you may not be permitted to travel to the US with your family. Now I want to draw your attention to something. These other countries I didn't mention here, or any other country in the European Union or in the West, if I didn't mention the country, know that if you are a PhD student or a researcher or going on research, then you can definitely move to these countries with your family. I mean an exception if you are going on research like PhD or maybe research work. All right, you can be permitted to migrate with your family because they know that research take a lot of time. Of course, they are going to see your offer letters. I hope you understand. Otherwise, know that you can only travel to the US with your spouse if you are on PhD and masters. But even going with your masters, you have to apply for what is called maybe H1 or a J2 visa for your spouse. But you as a student to the United States, you are going to be applying for F1 visa. Now the very last country I want to talk about, which is the one I said I was going to bring to you guys, is Spain. I just realized that if you want to move to Spain as an international student, you can now apply for your family as well, or your spouse. But remember, you are going to be showing money for them as well. And remember, for Spain, you need at least 7,000, close to 7,000 euros in order to apply for your study visa. This does not include how much you've paid for tuition fee. This is proof of funds separately, because per month you need close to like 600 euros to spend in Spain. And now remember, if you are moving with family, there are documents you need to submit. All right, the documentation include, which I'm going to talk about the other video. There is a video on the channel which I talked about requirements to study in Spain. Please watch that video. All right, I don't want this one to be so long so that it won't complicate us. But remember, in the case of marriage, or maybe if you have a child, or not marriage, you may be submitting your marriage certificate, you may be submitting birth certificate, you may be submitting maybe on married couple certificate or something like that. But you must be able to show proof and other documentations. All right, remember, these certificates now, birth certificate, marriage certificate, has to be translated to Spanish. They have to be legalized at the level of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they have to be legalized at the Ministry of Spain, or maybe the Spanish embassy in the home country where you are going to be applying for your Spanish student visa. I hope you understand. This is something I realized I didn't know myself, except until when I started checking the site for someone, before I noticed that you can move to Spain with a family member, a child, a husband, or maybe a spouse, your spouse. You understand? So it's very common. Now remember that those of you who will be moving, I get a lot of people, they're asking me how they can actually apply for visas with their families to Canada. You can move with your family if they are 7, 8, 10, or if you are 10 in number, you can move in as much as you have your money. Now, when you are filling the visa application, remember the primary applicant is the student. All you need now to do is where they will ask you, are you moving with any family member? You click yes, then you add their details. All right. Remember, everybody must have a passport before you can proceed to this. I hope this video helps you. Till we meet again in another one. The head is big for a reason, and remember, we need more wisdom and not more money. Till we meet again in another one. So this is how the website of Erasmus Mundus looks like. This is the European Education and Culture Executive Agency. As you can see, this is the Erasmus Mundus catalog, and this catalog has all the programs available for Erasmus Mundus. And let me take you to the programs available. You can see them, and if you check very well, you are going to find these are the list of programs. According to now, they have around 193 programs. As you can see on my left hand side, you can then make some selection from the keywords, the countries you want to study, the duration of the program, the university, and the field of studies. Then you are going to get the programs. But otherwise, you have to just come here to know this is Masters in European Tourism Management. There is a Manufacturing 4.0 by Intelligence and Sustainable Technologies, and you have Human Disease Model Morphological Phenotyping. All right, these programs were not available last time. I didn't see them, but note that they are still going to like edit this profile or to edit this page. All right, this is Erasmus Mundus in Biomedical Engineering. Then you also have Hydro System and Enabling Technology. All right, there are a lot of programs here. You can see Masters in Global Environment and Development. Then Erasmus Mundus joint Masters in Artificial Intelligence. You can even see J Aquaculture, Environment and Society. This program should be in Greece, United Kingdom, and France. Then Erasmus Mundus joint Masters in Artificial Intelligence is in a university in Spain, Italy, Netherlands, and Slovenia. So these are the countries in which you are going to be studying the programs in. You can see this is the program here, Artificial Intelligence. Then the other one below is Environment and Society, which is going to be in the Greece, United Kingdom. All right, so this is how you check the catalog. You can move down, you are going to find a lot of programs. All right, you can see Material Science, Power Rec, and Large Scale Facilities in France, Germany, and Italy and Poland. Right, then you can even see Architectural and Urban Contemporary Heritage for Spain, Italy, and Lithuania. Their master's degree in Environmental Sciences, Policy and Management in Austria, Sweden, Greece, United Kingdom. So this is how the catalog looks like if you are trying to study in Europe for a fully funded scholarship. So I will be updating you on all programs available very soon. And of course, you can then look for the program requirements and consider what you are going to do. Then you drop your application. I hope this video helps you.